on the council meeting of February 13 of this year. About 4 hours and 23 minutes in, a councillor did quote, "I want to correct Councillor Liu here. She's the one who surprises me. She voted differently on this issue in committee, and I respect that she has changed her mind. But at no time did she bring any of these concerns forward to me. She has a lack of understanding, despite being explained several times the difference between an overdose prevention site and a supervised consumption site," end quote. That councillor goes on to say, quote, "26 people have died. Is she not concerned with respect to the 26 people who have died? We know she has political aspirations," end quote. That quote came from Councillor Heed.
Is she not at all concerned with respect to the 26 people that died? We know she has political aspirations.
This statement, to my understanding by reading the conduct, is seemingly a clear violation of 2.4. But since the current complaint process is behind closed committee doors, there is no way to know if anyone has complained in regards to this issue or whether council has investigated a potential breach of the code of conduct. Members of the public in the audience were quite shocked when these comments were made. And while I do credit the mayor from guiding the council member from his line of speech, I still wonder if the code of conduct outline and principles will be potentially adhered to in that situation. In addition to this, following the vote, the same councillor was also caught on video and audio pointing at Councillor Liu at about 4 hours and 26 minutes in, saying, "I'm not finished with you." These were personal charges and attacks about the councillor's ability to comprehend, questioning her compassion about the overdose deaths, and a verbal attack on her character and motives, as well as a possible open-ended threat to a fellow member of council. This conduct was alarming, and I think members of the public do have a right to ask of Richmond Council whether this conduct should be tolerated. Within the purview of the same section, there was also an example of abusive conduct around the 4 hour, 25-minute, 55-second mark, where a member of the public passes a piece of paper to Councillor Heed. That may have very well been against regulation for the lady to do that, but it is also a public service job to respond respectfully. In the video, the councillor escalates the situation by turning around and tossing the paper aggressively and angrily at the lady, then pointing at her in an aggressive manner. This is all on video, on public record. I'm only highlighting these examples to ascertain if this behavior does not meet the threshold of breaching the code of conduct. If it doesn't, then what meets the threshold? So I would like to return to a few points to wrap up my delegation. What is the public's role in when witnessing breaches in the code of conduct? The public currently has no recourse to initiate a complaint or no process is explained. What sort of channels may be explored to allow public involvement in this process? Can City Council and the city staff come back to the public on what we can do and how we can do that once they've interpreted or amended more processes into the code of conduct? I'm looking for guidance from the mayor and council on this. Furthermore, the Code of Conduct does explain a process where complaints are taken to a closed committee meeting. Notwithstanding incidences of more private and sensitive nature, is there any way to be more open and transparent on cases where the Code of Conduct breaches are a more important public matter, just as the examples aforementioned? I would also like to ask Council whether you can look into the examples I provided and see whether there was any steps you can ascertain whether Policy 2.4 was violated twice that night, and potentially share an update on that matter. Thank you all for your time. If you require video of the examples, I'm glad to follow up and provide it.
Thank you very much, sir. The next delegation is Fionn Lowe, also to delegate on Council Code of Conduct.
I attended the February 12th and 13th council meetings, and I'm back today.
Please introduce yourself.
Oh, sorry.
And you've got 5 minutes.
I'm Fionn Lowe. I attended the February 12th and 13th council meetings, and I'm back today with questions for the council. I hope you will provide me with answers today. Let me begin with Councillor Carol Day. During your address on February 13th, you selectively read out online comments and added your own physical gestures to smear everyone opposing the supervised consumption site motion.
Excuse me. If you read the rules of procedure, you will realize that we don't allow offensive comments about members of council from the public, okay?
Oh, is that right?
So you are not going to make offensive comments.
Okay. You proceeded to cause some in the room of creating social divides. It's a fact. Going as far as crying shame on you. Question is, whom were you addressing with this remark? Was it your colleagues or the public? Would you agree that either way, this kind of demeanor and selective choice of comments demonstrates a lack of respect for perspectives and rights of others? Would that have violated the City Council's Code of Conduct? Moving on to Councillor Cash Heat, on February 12th, when the connection between you and Lucy Scientific Discovery was raised, you denied the allegation and threatened legal action against the speaker. On February 13th, you read out a purported statement from Lucy
Okay.
Scientific.
All right, I'm going to stop you now. This is obviously some kind of a political speech that you're giving us. You're going one counselor after another. I told you not to make offensive remarks. You continued.
It's a fact,
You
though.
continued.
It's not.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
These are statements.
This is, you are finished. Thank you.
Canada. That's
Move.
not Canada.
It's moved and rise and report.
Yeah, censor.
Can I have a
Censor,
seconder?
freedom of speech.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Any opposed? That's carried. Someone move adjournment. We are now adjourned.